Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Galactic Challenges. This event we will be unlocking IG-11. This is Nevarro and Scoundrels. What we have been doing the last several weeks is we will record my initial playthrough, but right after I'm done talking it, I'm going to cut in the solution. So for those of you who don't want to watch the whole thing, will at least know how I beat it and at what tiers and what teams. Before I jump into the playthrough, I did go through IG-11's updated information here on SWGOH and looked at his gear. It's not horrible, but it's also not great. It's kind of like definitely in the upper half of difficult to gear characters, but definitely not among the worst. So he starts needing carbs at gear 7, and he ends up needing a decent amount of carbs, but only 2 stun guns. So looking at his carbs, like this spreadsheet here just breaks down the most used gear pieces. IG-11 is going to need 5 Carbantes, 3 stunt cuffs, but the rest of the gear requirements are not that bad up to gear 11. Someone did ask that I make this spreadsheet available. I'll do that sometime in the next week. I'm not a spreadsheet wizard. There's no good content in here. I just use this to track, but I will make it available in case my format for how I keep track of this information is useful. So here are the bounty hunters I use to beat tier 7 of the event. It is very RNG dependent. The good news is when you undersize the event, you can basically bring any squad in for the undersize. I tested CLS, I tested JKR, I tested Sith Empire. They were all able to easily handle the undersized portion. Bounty hunters, I didn't even attempt the undersized portion, partly because of where my gear level was, but these guys were able to work. It is RNG dependent. I go through the particular strategy in tier 6 and tier 7 videos. You can watch those portions for the walkthrough. With Jango, he does have both Zetas. Bossk has both Zetas, but only the unique Zeta is relevant. Mando, I have the unique Zeta. Karga has the unique Zeta, not the special. Boba Fett has no Zetas. I do have these guys fairly fast with some decent mods, but not my best mods. And as you can see, like Jango, I've modded for potency, not speed, so even he could be faster. But he was still going either first or... No, actually, he wasn't going first. Boba Fett was going first. Or not Boba Fett, Bossk was going first. You can see it's late. This did take me a little bit of time. Bossk, though, I'll show you the speed I have on Bossk at 273, but without a speed set. That's just a very fast tenacity set. And Jango, he was going second, and he's down here at 252. So that's the team. Now we're going to move on to the playthrough. All right, we are looking at bounty hunters against, or scoundrels against bounty hunters. Is that what we're doing? Or bounty hunters against scoundrels. All right, so let's take a look at these modifiers. Character inflicts a debuff. They gain a stack of Imperial Rule. I believe we've seen that one before. Thrill of the Hunt. Bounty hunters gain 9 stacks of true defense at the start of the battle. When a bounty hunter gains their payout, they also gain Frenzy for a turn. Increased damage and cooldowns are reset. Yeah, we've seen that before. It's been a while since I've done that one. I don't remember that one exactly. And then hedge bets. When a scoundrel ally deals damage to their target enemy for each buff the enemy has, that ally gains that buff for 3 turns. So the enemies are going to be stealing my buffs and dispelling me. So that's going to be very annoying. I wonder if that complicates Karga. because Karga is going to make everybody counter back if they can steal my buffs, except yeah, and then they can dispel Bossk. So, but I'm starting with extra defense. I get frenzied when we hit the payout. Okay, all right. The way that we do this is I just do tier. Wait, have they instituted that change? Not yet, right? That was in the roadhead. That's something that they're going to do. So we can't, if we beat the final tier, we're not going to get it yet. But we start at tier 4. I'll do the Queel stuff, or not the Queel, IG-11 stuff later. Right now we're going to focus on beating this event. Take a look here. I don't have any Relic bounty hunters. That is going to make this a little tougher. But I do have the good ones at least to gear 11. We will try this. Yeah, the last time we had bounty hunters in Galactic challenges, that was up against the First Order, and I was able to beat that at tier 7 with my bounty hunters. All right, we're gonna just get some debuffs out there. That's IG-11 with Baby Yoda. Let's worry about stunning and trying to control these guys as much as possible. Actually, let's go hit Queel. Nobody has a stun. I wonder if I want more control. I'm gonna steal my buffs. Let's land ability block. We didn't get a Mando pop-up this week. The last 3 weeks there was a Mando pop-up. Maybe it's because I logged in before midnight. We need to work on hitting the contract. I think at least with Karga we can spread days around. Oh, and I do have the Zeta on Jango's unique. Not that that matters with that character, but there is a revive on these droids. We'll hit IG-11. I'm feeling like these modifiers aren't really affecting this tier, which might make the later tiers more of a nuisance. Because I don't feel like I'm learning what I need to do. We're gonna disintegrate Baby Yoda. Alright, that we learned nothing. So mass assist, we get the stuns and the assists. Should get us up to 35. Do the AoE, land some debuffs. Let's do another AoE, land some debuffs. Perfect. Now, mass assist. Nobody has anything. Let's try and land a debuff there. Let's just try it. Come on, alright. 1, 2, 3, we should be, what, 5% short? No, so close. Alright, here's our contract now. I don't get Bounty Hunter's Resolve back. Or was that another kit? Alright. We're gonna dispel this. Let's do the assists. Do they have the contract? We're going to take out IG-11. I don't know if that's the best one to take out. Okay, we got him back. I wish we had Bossk. Oh no. Maybe I want to take out L3. L3 is the most annoying. Let's do this differently. I wonder if we can make Bossk faster. Alright. We need a stun and a bunch of assists. That should get us to 35%. Perfect. Call in Jango for the assists, which would get us to like 45, 50. AoE. More debuffs. Mass assist. Now we're at 85%. Alright, that was terrifying, and for whatever reason the IG-11 animations just don't work great. Let's cleanse these, or dispel those. Taunt. No, 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 no! Okay. All right. If they don't have the contract off, he's never going to be able to annihilate me or disintegrate me. We're going to hit L3 because L3 seems to be the most annoying one. Because with L3 constantly cleansing, it's messing me up. Let's see if we can take out Queel. That may have been bad. I didn't refresh myself on the kit. I don't know what that does or doesn't do. This should do it. Okay. Well, now we need to see if this is going to work on other tiers. We're assisting now with... Because there were no debuffs, we assisted with Karga so he could land Daze right here, so that shuts down the Retribution. Pull some health with the conflagration. We lost Mando, and he is tough right now. See if we can get a stagger. Ooh, that did a lot. Alright, that's tier 5. This team worked for this. I don't know if we're going to continue getting lucky on the later tiers. Okay, so here is what worked on tier 6. We've got 3 Mandalorians to ignore the taunt. We have Bossk and Karga with mass assists and a little bit of control. Bossk with a stun and Karga with a daze. And that daze is important because it stops that retribution that they're going to steal from Karga. Now this is important. We need a land the stun and get a bunch of assists. So this will get us up to 35% on the contract. Now call in Jango because Jango will double tap. So now we're at 50. This is important with RNG. When we need to land several burnings. IG-11 is going to cleanse one. Okay, we got 3. I'm going to see if we can land an ability block on Queel so he doesn't cleanse. Perfect. Now when we do this assist, I think we're going to be... No, we're going to get 2 from Jango, so this should get us the contract. Alright, now we have the contract. I'm going to once again see if we can get ability block on Queel. Perfect. So this has been working out perfectly so far. Last time I tried to take out L3 because L3 was super annoying. This time I'm going to take out IG-11. Okay. I don't think I'm going to taunt. I think I'm going to try and stun IG-88. Let's do conflagration. And we're going to do the mass assist, get through that protection. We're getting through IG-88 quickly. Let's assist with Jango. Oh, and this because L3 has the Zeta, so the there's an equalization that occurred there. Now IG-88 is gone. We don't have to worry about Mando getting the contract and annihilating anyone. Now we're going to taunt. As we're going to hit Mando, because Mando is not a very tanky character. See how quickly we got through that protection? Let's just do the basic. We don't need you to steal our stuff. I just feel like Queel is not that good of a character without IG-11. Like I was saying this in one of my videos, like the Zeta is good where he's sharing stats with everyone, but his kit in and of itself isn't great without IG-11. It's kind of, that pairing is pretty important. So we're gonna, oh, and because the Zeta on Jango, we stopped the revive from Mando. This is, nobody is above gear 12 here. Yeah, L3 is annoying, but we can work around it because Jango Lead has given Bounty Hunter resolve to everyone, so now we're just ignoring L3 for the most part. And I think we're just going to end up getting to the contract, or getting to the disintegrate again. Yeah. And now disintegrate, that's tier 6 with no relics. Now let's see if tier 7 is possible with that same amount. So I already beat this. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording at the time. And I'm getting the feeling I got extremely lucky because I'm several attempts in now trying to recapture that magic. So again, there's no relics here. Alright, we need the stun. This gets us to 35%. Call in Jango. This will get us to 50%. We're doing the burning. This is very important. We need at least 4 because L3 will be cleansing 1 and L3 cannot be cleansing from IG-11. Okay, L3 still has it. This will get us to 85%. We're going to target Queel here. This will get us the contract. We're going to keep doing this, but L3 is going to cleanse something. We're taking out IG-11 with the disintegrate. Now all attention has to be on IG-88. We got, the key here is getting through this protection as quickly as possible. We're going to do the basic. We're going to do the mass assists. Call in Jango. We want this double tap. Now remember, L3's Zeta is going to equalize with IG-88. We're going to do the basic. Come on. I'm starting to get scared. I don't think we're going to get it. Alright, I am terrified right now. We're gonna dispel the buffs. We're going after Mando now because Mando is the easiest one to take out now, and my own Mando is going to have another attempt at a disintegrate in a moment. We're going to do the mass assist. We're going to do the mass assist, but maybe I should have done the protection. Alright, we are taking out L3. L3 is the most annoying, and Queel and Mando at this point should be fairly easy to handle. Like Mando... might be the wrong call, but I think Mando we're going to be able to take out without having to do anything fancy. What? I clicked on Jango. Well, okay. We beat it. This RNG is extremely annoying. One of the things that happens is the longer you take, you lose the true defense. And then the scoundrels start doing a ton of damage, and without relics, they're able to just take you out. Okay. We did it. We were recording this time. Now we can work on the other feats. The other feats, this thermal one, I'm going to check if you can do it with multiple attempts, because other than Dengar, my Greedo and my Zam are no good. We'll do that on like tier 4, tier 3. We got Queel to worry about, and now I'm going to find an undersized squad that can hopefully just plow through this. Okay, undersized squad. Let's try Sith Empire. The reason I'm trying Sith Empire first is if these scoundrels can steal buffs, let's use a team that doesn't rely on buffs. Maybe I should be using Sith, the Trooper. But I'm not. The concern here is they're going to outspeed me, most likely. Alright, trying to apply fear. We're going to do lightning. Drain life where we have to. We are doing the AoE. We are hitting that lightning. Come on. Well, let's just take him out. We got fear there, so we were going to do the big hit, which did nothing. We're just going to leave fear there and just take out Queel, and then IG-11 will be easier. Okay, Sith Empire is easy. Let's try some more. So if you don't have Sith Empire, if you don't have Sith Empire, you probably don't have gas. Let's try a rebel team. This one I don't feel as good as about. I wonder if we should have went after IG-88. I don't know what IG-88's contract is. Let's put the confuse. Okay. Now as long as we ignore L3, the confusion should really help me out. Only because the turn meter is where it's at, I'm going to hit IG-88. But I didn't get the stun. L3, okay, L3 did the equalize with a droid. So that's used up. I'm only focusing on IG-88 because I'm terrified of Mando. But they didn't get the contract off, so now we are going to hit. I feel like we have an opportunity here to just deal with L3. Okay. Let's dispel. Love hearing Baby Yoda. It's already stunned, so we're not going to use that hit yet. Is it? Come on. Oh, we can dispel. Well, that's not even there anyway. I was going to say we can dispel Mechanic Savvy so I don't have to worry about it, but it wasn't there. And Queel is nothing to worry about without IG-11. Okay, so if you don't have Sith Empire, if you have a good Rebels team, Rebels can take it out. Alright, we are going to attempt the thermals on tier 1. And we are going to do that with just Zam Lead, because Zam Lead is going to make the thermals a lot easier. Dengar and Greedo. So I'm assuming that even in a loss... Actually, I should do this in tier 3. We're going to do this in tier 3. I'm supposed to complete the battle. No, so that's not... it. That's really bad writing. Complete the battle after attempting to apply thermal detonators. The word attempting there kind of implies that I didn't need to succeed in applying 40 thermals. The problem, though, is it sounds like I do have to beat this. We're doing Bossk and Karga to keep everybody alive. We're getting some bad RNG with the thermals. Okay, come on. Ooh. Was that 40? Okay, we got our 40. I don't know if I'm going... Is it even worth doing? So 4, no, not worth doing. 5, kinda not really. 6... 2 of those, not really. Kinda not really. I don't know if we're going to be attempting that thermal. We're not doing it tonight. That is for sure. We got Mando to watch, we got other things to do. I'm definitely watching Mando before I go to bed. That's just the realities of Star Wars in the time of COVID. We gotta slow this down. We're not going to beat this with these guys. That's too much firepower. Okay. That's easily 40. We're at like 10 per. Alright, that gets us undersize, it gets us to thermal, it should get us to thermal, we get more of our IG-11 shards. It's a fun team, I just don't have them geared up. For a very good reason. Greedo needs a crazy amount of stun cuffs. Zam's not that bad. I'm just gonna... Is it 40 for this tier too? It can't be, right? Alright, there's our like Queel shards. Or not Queel, IG-11. You can tell how long I've been doing this. There are our IG-11 shards. I'm supposed to do 40 on this tier? Yeah, we aren't going to be worrying about that. Maybe I'll attempt it later and type it up. We are going to gear up IG-11 a little bit. We're not really going to worry about testing them out until next week. There's my beautiful. All right, we're going to activate. Next week, when we get him to 3 stars, we'll start seeing how viable we can use him at low stars or lower gear, and then we're going to be testing Queel and IG-11 together, both with and without the Zetas. So when I looked at this before, it was at gear 7 is the first Carbanti. Or at 6. So here's the first Carbanti. We are going to do that one. I don't know if we're going to go past 8 right now. We got a HoloLens. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. We do have a stun gun, so we're gonna stop here for, yeah, and yeah, Mark 5 droid collar. We're not giving you right now. So we are going all the way up on these. Definitely that Omega. That's a good Omega. Dealed. I'm gonna hold off for now. That sounds good, but I want to see how often that scenario actually comes up. There, we're going to watch The Mandalorian. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other. This has been Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.